Hello and welcome to my first ever video on hair. Now I had a request because I have very long hair. You can't quite see it all in this video, but it goes down almost to my waistline. And some people have asked me about the weight of my hair and can it pull on your scalp. Now I don't have too many problems with this, but I do occasionally. There are some hairstyles, for instance, I really love wearing my hair up in a very high ponytail, but for me that doesn't work because my hair is so heavy and long that it pulls on my scalp and makes it really painful to maintain that style for any length of time, rather. So today I'm going to show you a style that I stole from the very popular series, The Lost Girl. And I'm going to show you a hairstyle that I really love from that show that helps to redistribute the weight of your hair and still gives you that beautiful length that you want to show off, but does not constantly pull on the scalp. Now for me, the heaviest part of my hair is actually the front part of it. And this, if you think about it, makes a lot of sense because when you're sleeping on the back of your head or on the side of your head. So where the hair is going to get the thickest is this front section of your hair. So with this particular style from The Lost Girl, it's going to take care of that really heavy hair in front and redistribute that weight so that you can wear that weight of your hair. So first what we're going to do is we're going to take a very small section of hair, the very front part. And we're actually going to do a bit of a French braid here. Now I like to have a little bit of fullness in my hair up front, so I'm actually going to twist this first part of the hair, so see how it can puff up a little bit in front. That's a personal preference of mine. You do not have to do this particular step, but I kind of like to have that volume up front. And if you look at the Lost Girl show, when she wears her hair in this style, she too has that kind of pompadour look. So as you can see, I started the French braid using just 2 strands. So now I'm going to add that next strand here right in front. Now you're going to want to take really small, you see how it's real small pieces. Now with me I have a lot of hair. So you can see that I'm taking just real small bits of that right in front, as you can see. So now I have my triple strand braid here. Now that I've made the 3 strands, I'm going to take that twisted bit that I puffed up at first, and I'm just going to pull it up so that it maintains that little bit of a pompadour right there, that little puff there. And I just gently, close to the roots, just pulled up that puff so that I have that volume there. So now you can see I started I just took the very front section of my hair here. So now what I'm going to do, instead of taking right from the front, as you can see, I'm going to take just slightly behind the front and take my next small section of hair. As you can see, I'm not taking a lot of hair, just a little bit. And depending on the volume of your hair, that's going to change how much hair you pull at one time. So here I'm adding the hair to my French braid here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now as you can see, I'm not going to take it from the very front. I'm going to take a small section just behind, as you can see. I'm going to add that into my braid. And once again, now that I have the 3 completed, I'm going to take that front section, I'm just going to puff it up a little bit. Because as you're going, it's going to, get tighter and tighter, so you just want to loosen that front to your liking there. So now, I took from the front, I took just behind the front, and now I'm going to go just a little bit further back and take my next little piece of hair a little bit further back than what I did before. And you can really see it because, as you can see, my gray hair is starting to show. I need to do my roots a little bit here. But in this case, you can really see where I'm taking the hair because my roots are giving you a better example of where I'm pulling that hair from. So once again, I'm going to add that into my French braid here. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now I took from the front first, I took just behind the front the next time. I'm going to take it just a little bit further back than I did before. And I'm going to make that braid now. As you remember, this is the third piece of the braid. So once again, I'm going to go back and just loosen up that front so that I have that little puff in the front. Okay? Now once again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to take it even a little bit further back again. Instead of peeling from the exact front, I'm just going to add a little bit from behind where I took the previous time. I'm going to add that in. Same thing on the other side. I'm taking the hair from a section just a little bit further back than I did the first time. And add that in. And then once again, just going to kind of loosen up that hair. As you can see, because I've been constantly loosening that front a little bit, it gets easier as you go. So I still have that kind of lift that I want in the front. So now I've gotten all the way back. I'm going to do just one more towards the back of my head. You don't want to go too far back though, because that's going to make your braid not lay real flat on the top of your head. So you want to make sure that it's not behind you, it's still on the very top of your head. So I'm going to add just one more section of hair on each side. So once again, you can see that I pulled a piece from here, then about here, and now I'm going to take that last piece. It's still on the top of my head though, it's not behind me. You want to keep it on the top of your head, not behind you. Now, as you can see, like I said, I have not dyed my roots. You can see that there's a little bit of a darker color coming in here, and you can really see the gray up front here. I left that alone on purpose so that you could get a better idea of where I was pulling my hair in this video. Now, what I'm going to do to hide that line, because you can see that that's quite a line there, I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a little bit of hair from the front again. And see how that's going to hide that line. So this is also, not only is this going to really help redistribute that weight on the top of your head, it's also, if you're like me and you just haven't quite gotten to that point where it's right in between where you need to dye your hair, this is going to help blend in the colors and hide your roots a little bit. So as you can see, I took that from the front instead of the back. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more there. And add that in. So now you can see there's still a little bit of a line there, but once the hair kind of settles in, you can see that it makes it look a little more blended than it did before. So now I'm going to finish that braid. Now you can either tie it off right here, or for me, I kind of like the look of that tiny little braid going back behind me in the back there. So what I do when I'm braiding a braid in the back of my head, I keep braiding for as long as I comfortably can. Now, if I'm wearing a different style, a lot of times I'll just bring the braid forward like this and keep braiding in front of me, because that gives my arms a bit of a break. For this, though, I have learned that my hair can't tolerate that kink in this style. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to bring it to the side so that I can better see what I'm doing and finish out the braid, and then this gives my arms a break because it takes quite a while. As I said, my hair goes almost to my waist, so it takes quite a while to finish braiding my hair, and it's a little hard on my arms to do that. Now, I also lift weights. So it isn't a question of strength, so do not feel bad if you can't maintain braiding your hair for long periods of time. Your body really isn't designed to hold that position for any great length of time. So this definitely makes giving yourself a longer braid much, much easier to either pull it to the side as I'm doing it or flip it over and pull it in front of you so you can see what you're doing. It makes it easier too because, like I said, now I can see what I'm doing, whereas before I really had no control over what I was doing. And this way I can make sure, as you can see, I was settling out the hair so I wasn't accidentally braiding in hair that I didn't want to braid in. And there we go. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail just because I'm just getting tired. It happens. And now I'm going to tie it off. I use, these are Goody elastics. You can get them in clear plastic. This is a wrapped elastic band. You never want to use like a plain rubber band on your hair. It can really hurt and pull hair. So I really like the Goody brands there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the hair and kind of resettle it because it does make that kink. And now, as you can see, I have a really nice braid up on the top. I have that poof that I wanted. And then I'm going to turn around and hopefully you'll be able to see that braid in the back. I really love this style, like I said. It keeps the hair out of my face, lets me show all of my length of my hair, and it gives me the added bonus of hiding those roots that I need to hide before I have to really redye my gray hair. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave some comments for me and see if you would like to learn more about long hair and redistributing weight or coloring hair or anything else. Hope you enjoyed this video.